Hi, Maria here with Yoga Awakenings. Thank you for joining us again today. So we're still in the month of January. This is an Earth month. We're focusing on the knees. It's a great time to continue working on that foundation for the upcoming year. We're creating our year of vision 2020, right? So this is a perfect time to lay the groundwork for what's ahead of us in the next year. So let's begin today's practice by chanting Om, the universal sound, together to sort of come in and get centered. So bring the hands to heart center. Join me as we chant one Om together. Take a deep inhale. Exhale and bow the head. Release the hands, open the eyes and lift the head. Interlace the fingers and turn the palms to face out. And if it's in your wheelhouse today for shoulders, turn the palms to face up. Heels of the hands, the entire palm parallel to the ceiling. Hopefully, that's a goal. If it's not there today, then it'll be a goal for the end of the year, yes? Good. And then exhale, release the hands down. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right with the spine tall and straight, creating space for those discs as we twist. Inhale, exhale, left. And inhale, coming back to center. So we're focusing on the knees this month, knee health. So when we're sitting in Virasana or Vajrasana or even in Sukhasana, easy seat, sometimes the knees can get a little crunchy. Engage those thighs, resetting the knees. Good. Then flex the toes and spread them wide. Point, flex and spread, point. Big circles, waken those ankles up, opposite direction. And then come in for Padottanasana. So bottoms of the feet touching, maybe give yourself a little soul love. And then open those hips, right? So think about drawing the thighs behind us, the knees to the opposite sides of the room. Bring the hands behind, open that heart center by rolling the shoulders back, and open the book. So ideally you want the tops of the big toes touching your mat, right? So maybe not be there today, but that's a goal, 2020. So opening those ankles, opening those feet, opening those hips. Beautiful. Then let's roll over onto all fours and we'll warm up with a little cat-cow. Wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. So really drop down into that spine by drawing the shoulder blades together, lifting the gaze, lifting those sits bones. We're a big heavy cow out in the middle of the pasture, right? Our belly is rolling down towards the ground. And then exhale, becoming that angry cat, lifting the spine, Vajrasana, rounding, keeping the gluteus soft, right? So we're bringing the gaze to the navel and the navel to the gaze. Inhale, coming back into the cow, dropping into those shoulder blades. Bring the shoulder blades back to touch and exhale, rounding. Inhale and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Hopefully you've watched our Adho Svanasana video, the downward facing dog, and you know the drill by now. Walk the hands one hand length out in front. Curl those toes, lift those sits bones, bring the belly all the way to the thighs, and then lift the sits bones. And if the knees straighten, fine. If they don't, then don't lose the arch in the back. Don't become a lazy dog, right? Be a downward facing dog. Adho Svanasana, where the forehead meets the hairline is towards the floor. Sits bones are reaching high, and the knees may or may not be straight, and that's okay. Then inhale, look up between the hands. Step, jump, or walk the feet forward, coming into Uttanasana. So we'll begin in our Uttanasana. So spinal health, so earth, we're talking about earth all month this month. The bones are a part of earth. Skin is a part of earth. So if we're tight in the hamstrings and we're just hanging out here, then that's going to create a grip in this low back, which is not going to be safe. So make sure you can make contact with something. If you can't make contact with the floor, make contact with your block. So starting in Uttanasana with the crown of the head towards the floor, if that's in your wheelhouse. Sits bones lifting. And then we'll go into Padangusthasana. So wrap the index finger around your big toes, keeping the sits bones lifted and pulling into those big toes. The elbows go out to the sides, keeping the sits bones lifted, keeping the thighs engaged, really opening those hamstrings. When the hamstrings and calves are tight, guess what they're pulling on? You're right, the knees. So we want to release all that tension in the hamstrings. Beautiful. All right, let's take it into the next little juicy piece. Padahastasana. So bring the backs of the hands down onto your mat. Lift the ball of the feet, and the toes will be touching the wrist. The entire palm is underneath the feet, the front of the feet. Lift both of them. And this may be pretty intense for you if you have tight calves and if you have tight hamstrings. If the knees are bent, that's fine. But with every exhale, think about lifting those, pardon me, lifting those sits bones. Obviously, sinuses are draining into my throat. Lifting those sits bones, lifting the sits bones, lifting the sits bones. Feeling all that joy in the hamstrings and the calves. Yummy. Nice. And then slowly release. And then we'll soften those knees. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. So you think our back bodies are waking up a little bit? Let's begin by setting our blocks up at the back of the long edge of the mat to go into Trikonasana. Tadasana first, mountain pose. So what else represents earth better than a mountain? Tadasana. So ideally big toes touching outer edges of the feet parallel. If that doesn't feel stable for you, you can always come hip width distance apart. But just Tadasana can be a workout, right? So grounding in all four corners of the feet, lifting the arches. What does that mean? Lift the toes. When you lift the toes, you can feel those arches engage. Keep those arches engaged and then relax the toes down. Good. Engage the thighs, lift the pit of the abdomen, lift the heart center, and actively reach the hands, fingertips down towards the floor, but relaxed, right? So that is Tadasana. That is all of the actions in Tadasana, and most, if not all, of the standing poses. So really get connected with your connection of the feet to the ground, to Mother Earth, right? So make sure you feel the same weight in the heels and the ball of the feet. Make sure you feel the same weight on the inner arch to the outer arch. Make sure you feel the same weight left and right foot. And then feel the connection of each of the 10 toes, or all 10 toes connected equally. Beautiful. From here, let's go into Trikonasana. So on the inhale, let's separate those feet about 3.5 feet. Turn that right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot about 15 degrees. Make sure that right knee, for knee health and knee protection, is tracking over those second toes. If the knee is tracking out here towards the inner arch, then over time, that's going to torque that knee and it's not going to be healthy. Good. Keeping that thigh engaged is going to protect the back of the knee, all those tender tendons and ligaments in the back of the knee. Then move that right sits bone to that left inner thigh. Bring the hands up parallel. Reach out over that front leg, and then bring the right hand to the block behind the ankle, and the left hand comes up perpendicular. Now, if the left shoulder is crunchy and having that left arm up perpendicular to the torso feels not good in your body, then you can always bring the palm to rest, the back of the hand to rest on the sacrum. But still keep that shoulder opening up, right? The heart center opening up towards the long edge of your mat. Nice. Grounding through the feet. On the right foot, all four corners. On the left foot, specifically on the outer edge of the foot. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, turn the left leg out 90 degrees. The right foot about 15. I'm used to taking the block with me, so if you've got both blocks there, then you don't need to take it with you. Check that knee. Knee needs to stay pointing over, tracking over those second toes. Engage the thigh. Move that left sits bone to that right inner thigh. Reach out over that left leg. Bring the block just behind the ankle, and the right hand comes up perpendicular. Opening that heart center. So hopefully you're feeling this beautiful event going on here in the back of this left hamstring. The back of the thigh, in the left hamstring, behind the thigh. Is there an in front and a behind the hamstring? That's a great question. My son, who's a scientist that thinks about all these things, would have a great answer for me on that. All right, let's inhale and come back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Let's go right into Parsvakonasana. Take the feet a little wider. Turn the right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot about 15 degrees. Bend that right knee to stack on the ankle, track over the second toe. Bring the block behind that ankle at whatever level feels comfortable for you. Now, protect that knee by pressing that knee into that right arm. Don't let it come out here on the arch side of the foot. And then we'll swing that left arm up and over, opening that heart center. One long, beautiful line from the fingertips to the outer edge of that left foot. So we're grounding in all four corners of the right foot. We're pressing the right knee into the arm to protect it. And we're grounding especially in the outer edge of the left foot, lifting that inner arch all the way up the inner thigh of the left side. And according to Iyengar, this is the perfect pose for getting rid of belly fat. I don't know if more is more or not. So if we did this 5 hours every day, would we be a size 0? I don't know. If you decide to try that out, let me know. Inhale, let's come back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, turn the left leg out 90 degrees, the right foot about 15. Bend that left knee to stack on the ankle, track over the second toes. Bring the block just behind that left ankle. At whatever level is in your wheelhouse today, swing the right arm up and over. One long, beautiful line from the fingertips to the outer edge of that right foot. Grounding in all four corners of the left foot, pressing that left knee into the arm to protect it. Grounding the outer edge of the right foot, lifting that inner arch all the way up. Notice the right knee on the way up of that lifting of the inner arch. What are you feeling there? What are you noticing there? Inhale, let's come back up to stand. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Let's get right into Warrior II from here. Since we're already in a wide stance, turn that right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot, we don't need the block for this one. The left foot about 15. Bend that right knee to stack over the ankle, track over the second toe. Bring the arms up parallel to the floor. So turn those palms to face up. Feel the shoulder blades hugging into the ribs. Keep the shoulder blades there and turn the palms to face down. Check yourself. Are you leaning out over that bent knee? You want to have one straight line from the crown down to the tailbone. Check the knee. Make sure that if you're standing tall and straight, you can see the inner arch of that foot. So if the knee is leaning out here towards the arch, you won't be able to see that, will you? Lifting the inner arch of the left foot all the way up the inner thigh, grounding the outer edge of that left foot. Inhale, straighten the right knee. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, turn the left leg out 90 degrees, the right foot about 15. Bend that left knee to stack on the ankle, track on the second toe. Grounding in all four corners of the left, grounding in the outer edge of the right, lifting the inner arch of the right all the way up the inner thigh. Making sure you can see that inner arch. Dropping those sits bones. Really feel yourself rooting down into the ground with everything in your being. And then inhale, straighten that leg. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Whilst we're here, let's go ahead and go into Prasarita, Padottanasana. Outer edges of the feet parallel to the short edges of the mat. Hands on hips. Inhale, open that heart center. Exhale, hinge forward, bringing the hands under the shoulders. Keeping those thighs firmly engaged, lifting those sits bones even higher until you can feel those inner thighs saying, yes, she remembered me, or he remembered me. Those inner thighs don't get enough love and attention, right? Lift those sits bones, keeping those thighs engaged. This may be enough for you. If you want to go deeper, walk those hands back in between the feet, pressing into the floor, bringing the crown of the head towards the floor, pressing, lifting, deepening that pose. Eventually, you want to bring the head in between the ankles. The hands are between the ankles, and you want to bring the head between the ankles. Or you can clasp the ankles. A lot of my students like to do that. Keeping the thighs firmly engaged. Lifting those sits bones. And then walk the hands back out to neutral. So keeping the thighs engaged is crucial for protecting all the little tender tendons and ligaments behind the knees. Then keeping the hands connected, let's heel toe all the way together. It's going into Utkatasana, powerful pose. Big toes touching, knees gripping. Very important that the knees stay gripping because we always have one thigh is stronger than the other. So when we have those knees gripping, then we're protecting the weaker leg. So let's go ahead and exhale and slowly lower those sits bones, and we can bring the arms up or to the waist, whatever feels comfortable for you. Soften that low back by drawing the navel into the back body. Lower those sits bones, open that heart center. Weight in the heels. Grounding in all four corners of the feet, but weight in the heels. This is another great grounding earth pose. And we're protecting the knees. We're protecting the weaker thigh by keeping those knees gripped together. They're supporting one another, right? Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Whew! Hope you're as out of breath as I am. Slow the breath down. Let's go into Warrior One. So come to the top of the short edge of your mat. On the inhale, step that right foot back about 3.5 feet. Far enough that you can ground in the outer edge of the right foot, but the hips are still square to the front edge of your mat. Bend that right knee to stack over the ankle, track over the second toe, lift the pit of the abdomen, bring those arms up and overhead. Reach for the sky, drawing the shoulder blades out and up. See if there's an opportunity to draw the left hip back, right hip forward a little more. See if you can lift the pit of the abdomen a little more. Ground in the entire left foot, all four corners. Ground in the outer right foot. And if you want to deepen this pose, imagine that you're bringing the legs all back to center. So the feet are moving back towards one another and also to the center line. Activating inner thighs, strengthening the entire lower extremities. And then lower the hands, exhale, step that right foot forward. Inhale, step the left foot back. Again, far enough that you can keep the left heel grounded and the hips square to the short edge of the mat. Bend that right knee to stack over the ankle, track over the second toe. Lift the pit of the abdomen. Swing those arms up and over, reaching for the sky. Grounding in the right foot, grounding in the outer edge of the left, drawing that right hip back, left hip forward. Powerful warriors. Lowering the hands, exhale, step that left foot forward. we'll go right into Warrior III. I like to use blocks for Warrior III. If you are super strong and you don't want to use blocks, then you know what, do you. So we'll begin in Tadasana. We'll hinge forward into Ardha, Uttanasana, half forward fold, which we're going to do one whole video on that, Ardha Uttanasana, at some point for the spine. Now, very important when you lift the right leg into Virabhadrasana III, Warrior III, that you just lift the leg and not the hip, because that movement, that rotation on the greater trochanter can start to wear that greater trochanter down. So just lift the heel. And if you're feeling super powerful today and you want to lift the left hand, and if you're feeling super, super powerful and want to lift the right hand, but I'm not feeling all that powerful. So it's still a balancing pose. Lighten the load on the right hand. Keeping that right hip square to the floor. Exhale, lower the left hand. Exhale, lower the right foot. Balancing on that right foot, lifting that left heel. You notice I say heel, not hip. And then lifting the right thumb up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lower everything back down. So for half moon pose, you'll just need one block. Let's turn towards the long edge of our mat. On the inhale, step the feet apart about 3.5 feet. So it's almost like we're going into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Turn that right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot about 15. Bend the right knee. Reach for that block, which is eventually going to be about a foot out in front of the toes and more towards the pinky toe side of the foot. And then hop, hop, hop the right foot up and out, walking the block out so that it's where it needs to be, so that your arms are perpendicular to the floor. The outer edge of that right foot is parallel to the ceiling. And then we come out the same way we went in. So bend that left knee, hop, 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 lower the right foot down. Let's do the other side. Turn the right leg out 90 degrees, the left foot about 15. Bend that right knee, and then lower the block down, hop, 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 until you're ready to lift the left leg and the left hand up perpendicular. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So if you're super flexible and you can lift that left leg even higher, then you can come down onto the floor. And then bend the right leg, come out the same way you went in. Beautiful. Exhale, turn both feet to face the long edge of the mat. Inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, bring the feet together. Let's do one more standing pose of Parsvottanasana. So we did this in one of our other videos. The classical final position is having the hands in reverse namaste. If that's not in your wheelhouse today, then you can clasp the hands, making a fist. You can clasp the elbows, or if it's suitable for your shoulders and wrists and so on and so forth, you can come into reverse namaste. On the inhale, step the right foot back about 3.5 feet. Inhale, open the heart center. Exhale, hinge forward. So all part of earth, the earth element in our bodies, the skin, anything that creates foundation, the skin holds us together, the bones holds us upright. So in protecting the spinal bones, you don't ever want to round the back in this pose. You want to have a little bit of an arch. So what I was telling my students the other day, if you can feel back there and you can feel the spinous process, those little knobs in your spine, then you've rounded too much and you are opening up an opportunity for injury. So you want to reach back there and feel like a little valley, not feel the spinous process. Good. Inhale, come back up to stand. Exhale, step that right foot forward. And on the inhale, we'll step the left foot back. Hips are square towards the short edge of the mat. Inhale, open the heart center. Woo. And exhale, getting off balance. Exhale, hinging forward. Again, checking this spinous process. Once you feel those little nodules start to poke out, then that's as far as you go. It's only a hinge, it's a hinge, it's a hinge, it's not a rounding. With every exhale, hinging, keeping the chin jutted out. And again, once you feel that spinous process, then you've gone too far. Come out a little bit. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up to stand. Exhale, stepping that foot forward. Let's come down onto the knees into Parighasana, gate pose. Bring the right foot out to the side. So ideally, if your ankles are nice and open, you can point the toes out away from you. If those ankles feel a little crunchy, then you can always point the toes towards the long edge of the mat. You want the left leg to be perpendicular to the floor, not leaning out towards the straight leg. So from here, we'll slide that right hand down to the ankle, keeping the heart center open. Bring the left hand up and over. And with every exhale, we might bring that left hand a little closer to the ankle. Exhale a little closer. Exhale a little closer. Grounding through our left knee. Grounding through all four corners of our right foot. Inhale, coming back up to center. Let's do the other side. Bringing the left leg out. Right leg is perpendicular. Pointing the toes out to the side or to the front, whatever feels good for you. Good. Inhale. Exhale, slide that hand out to the ankle. And bring the right hand up and over. And eventually one day, having the right hand touch the ankle as well. Exhale, reaching. Exhale, reaching. And exhale, reaching. Beautiful. Inhale, coming back to center. I think you have earned yourself a Shavasana. So this is the standing poses, all of which are great for knee protection. And we've talked about grounding so that we're earthen. We've talked about how to protect the knees. So utilizing, these are postures that you can do every day. Go ahead and come down onto your back body. Opening that heart center. Extending the legs out. If it feels comfortable, you may want something under the knees. If your low back feels crunchy, opening those palms up to the ceiling. You really want to enjoy a full 5-minute Shavasana. Slow the breath down. And staying with the earth element. Feel your connection, anything that is touching the mat. Feel that connection, sense that connection. Become grounded. The visual that I like to use is imagine that you're in a cave or out in Arizona surrounded by deep, rich, red earth. So it's either the earth of the cave or earth in mountains. The color of the root chakra, earth, is red. So these earthen walls or earthen mountains, these are safety, security, structure, foundation, boundaries. And you have the key to your safe space, whether it's sitting out on the edge of the cliff surrounded by those earthen mountains in Arizona or in the cave. You have the key. You allow in what you need and keep out what you don't. Watching the breath as it slows down after this beautiful workout that we just experienced of grounding, of creating strength and flexibility in the knees and around the knees. So take one more deep inhale into your beautiful bodies. And exhale fully. Bend the knees and begin to rock the knees side to side. Roll over onto your right side. Taking one more deep inhale into those yin, ida, cooling ribs. And then using your powerful arms and hands, gently push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. So I'm so grateful that you've chosen to join us again today on this Earth journey in January of grounding, creating our foundation, our strength for the upcoming year. I invite you to subscribe, share, comment, tell all your friends to join us. We have a goal in the month of January to obtain 1,000 or more subscribers. So we invite you to join us in this goal setting. Take time today or this week to walk as if you're a sumo wrestler. Think about that slow, intentional movement. Feel your connection of the feet to the earth, every sensation as you walk. Slow the breath. Feel the strength of the earth moving into your body, supporting you, strengthening you. And breathe. Namaste.
According to Adil Pakavala, true yoga is not about the shape of your body, but the shape of your life. Yoga is not to be performed, but to be lived. Yoga doesn't care about what you have been. It cares about the person you are becoming. Yoga is designed for a vast and profound purpose, and for it to be truly called yoga, its essence must be embodied. Let's embody yoga together.